Hey tribe, welcome to today's Yin class. Go ahead and grab your mats if you haven't already, and let's get started with today's practice. We'll start down on the floor in a seated position. If you have a blanket, you can have that available as well. So let's just start out sitting nice and tall with the spine. We'll start with just a little centering, grounding. Excuse me. You can have the legs placed out long in front of you, or perhaps if it feels good, you can come up onto the knees, sitting in hero position, like so. And sitting up nice and tall, or if you want to sit in Sukhasana, you can do that as well. And let's take a moment to, if you're sitting up on your heels or the legs out long, or even in Sukhasana, begin to feel the contact of your seat, your sits bones, the surface beneath you. Stay seated nice and tall. The hands can be placed down on the lap for grounding, or up for receiving. And just start to tune into the natural rhythm of the breathing. Allowing the breath to come to a calm, natural inhalation and exhalation. And taking this time to come to the present moment, feeling into your body, feeling into your practice. So for today's practice, I'd like to invite you to use the positions or the poses to get into your body, feel into your body. Stay within your space, your vessel, and just stay connected. So as you may find sometimes intense sensations, also know that those sensations are probably just requesting a little bit of space or attention, and using our breath to surround those areas, give them so much deserved attention, as if it's like a screaming child, for instance. Sometimes we'll allow that energy to pass and move through. So I want to just invite you in your practice today to stay focused on what's happening within your experience, meaning the experience of the body, in the experience of the breath. And just stay in tune and in touch with that. Whatever feelings may arise or come up are perfectly natural, perfectly normal. Sometimes in a deep introspective practice of yin, feeling into our body is a little bit unnatural in the common everyday world. So give yourself this time, this gift of space, of presence, being fully present with yourself, your breath, each moment of existence, each moment of your experience, and just allow yourself to be with what is. So let's take the hands to heart center. Taking a nice deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale gently through the nose, nice and soft. but releasing the hands down by the sides. If you're up on the knees, feel free to come to rest on a blanket, kind of up sitting on a blanket, if you will, so that the sit bones are right at the edge of that blanket. Let's take a moment to bend into the right knee. Perhaps you allow the left leg to come out a little bit towards the side, or you could have it straight out in front of you, just whatever you feel like will be good for you today. So I'm going to have mine a little bit out to the side, the sole of foot coming into the left thigh, sitting up nice and tall. As we exhale, begin to use the hands, turn the chest and torso over the extended leg. And then as you exhale, begin to gently walk yourself forward. So the chest and chin will lead the way. Feel free to soften and relax the foot or the toes here. It's a little opposite, it is opposite of a yang practice or an active flow practice. We want to let go of the muscle engagement as much as possible. Sink down into the silence, the experience. And again, remembering to use the pose to come into the body. So allow the breath in the body to be the indicator of where you're at with your pose today. So even if you're just 2 inches from vertical and you're feeling a nice stretch, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So pausing there, breathing with it, and allow the body to be the indicator of perhaps making subtle shifts down a little deeper without forcing it. And just continue to breathe into the experience. Allow the body to make subtle, soft shifts with each exhalation. Notice how the breath allows the body's natural response to move from the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the active part of our everyday, into the sympathetic nervous system, which is also known as the rest and digest. Doing your best to rest within the posture. You can round into the upper back, even rounding into the upper back. Stay with the breath. Notice the sensations within the body. Try to find stillness within your practice. Remain still, give sensations full presence, full awareness, full attention. Continue to observe the bodily sensations. Observe the breath. Notice if there's any holding within the muscles, if there's any tension. Perhaps the breath is an indicator if there's any holding or you find the breath hard to move through certain areas. Perhaps the holding is in with the mind. Just becoming a neutral observer of the awareness. Sensations, thoughts, and breath moving through. Good. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale softly, slowly, let it all out. See and notice how the body relaxes with the exhalation. Press the palms into the mat and walk the hands back up. Allow the torso and head to rise up nice and tall as well. Let's take the right knee in, spread it out towards the side. If you kept it long out in front of you, you can do that as well. Just whatever you did on the first side, do on the opposite side. Take a bend into the left knee. Allow the left knee to bend out towards the left. Sole of the right foot meeting the inner right thigh. Take this time to get nice and long in the spine, reach to the crown of the head. And then soften the muscles. And as you exhale, begin to soften forward. So as soon as you find that edge, like that nice stretch where you're feeling it, I encourage you to just pause there and be still with it. Breathe with it. Be with the sensation. Perhaps you could go a little deeper. Perhaps you just take this time to be where you are now. Allow the body to make its adjustments on its own without us forcing our way into something or trying to be in a certain place at a certain time. Right now is the time to let go of all of that. Right now you have no agenda but to be right here, right now. Maybe as you notice, you soften into the toes, the ankle, the foot, even softening in the abdomen. Softening the muscles of the legs and the arms. Allow the tension to release from the shoulders and the arms. Make adjustments as needed, but try to find stillness. Sometimes it's in stillness that shift happens. Things that are held or trapped within the body are able to be released at their own pace at their own time. Without us even knowing why, when, or how. Continue to follow the breath. Let go of the mind. Feel the sensations and energies present within the body. Relax any tightness, allowing the breath to move to those areas of force. Good. On your next inhalation, let's inhale nice and deep through the nose. Fill up the abdomen as you exhale, softly, slowly, and gently exhale through the nose. Noticing all the subtle shifts in the breath of the body. Placing the hands on the outside of the leg. And just as slowly as you came forward, move yourself back up to an upright position. You might start to feel some achiness or stiffness, and that's when you know you really got nice and deep into that fascia tissue. Let's bring the soles of the feet together here. You can stay sitting up onto the blanket. If you don't have a blanket, that's okay too. So bring the the knees wide, as in like butterfly position. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe breathing here for a few breaths. If you have some blocks or blankets that you want to bring to support the knees, you may do that as well. And then from here, slowly and gently, a nice deep inhale, lengthen through the back of that spine, and then as you exhale, slowly and gently begin to fold forward. So again, softening into the muscles so that you can get into the fascia tissue, the connective tissue, the tissue surrounding the joints. Stay still within your practice. Now, if you're getting any sharp shooting pain, of course, you want to listen to the guidance of the body, always staying in tune with the body. Now, if you just have some slight discomfort or a little discomfort, dis-ease, maybe a little bit of intense sensation, see if you can just breathe with it. You might notice that the muscles begin to tense or clench. Just give them attention and awareness. Send the breath there. Send the attention there. Soften the shoulders and any holding, in the jaw, the facial features. Continue to follow the breath. Stay aware of the sensations in the body. Feel the space that's being created in the low back, sacrum area. With each inhalation, feel the body expand. Each exhalation, perhaps the body's releasing toxins, heaviness, thoughts that are no longer needed, beliefs that are no longer needed. Stay with it. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose, really expanding the abdomen, sending the breath through the entire body, as if the whole body is inhaling. Exhale softly and slowly, let it go. Press the palms firmly into the mat or the surface beneath you. And again, very gently, very slowly, bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Use the strength of the arms, draw the knees together. Let's make our way down onto our backs. So keeping your blanket handy if you wish. Using the arms to gently lower vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down to the back. And here, allow the shoulders to soften deeper into the mat. Keep the feet planted on the floor. Feel the lower back pressing gently into the mat, feeling safe and supported. Let's take a moment to heel toe the feet out towards the outer edges of the mat. Gently shift the knees over to the right. And let's pause here. Perhaps you could bring the arms into cactus position or out into a T. Just see what feels good for you. And perhaps the gaze comes over to the left. We're kind of doing this gentle zigzag position with the body. This is causing any discomfort on the inside of the knee. Feel free to have a block below the knee or a blanket. If you don't have any props available, then just draw that left knee in a little closer to the right so that it's supported. Also, kind of flexing the foot and the toes will help also keep that knee joint in place. Again, let go of any holding or doing. Come back to the breath. Feel the subtle energies shifting through the body, sinking deeper into Mother Earth, your mat, the support beneath you. Allow the shoulders to sink deeper into the mat. Allow the abdomen to naturally rise and fall with the breath. Continue to notice the sensations moving throughout the body. Perhaps you have a slight tingling feeling. Just know that you can be exactly where you are, with whatever arises. Good. Inhale, draw the head back to center. Begin to draw the knees back up to neutral position. Rest, move gently and slowly. Treat the body with compassion and care. Maybe we heel toe the feet together. Feel the spine. I think what it's called right now. The tailbone pressing into the floor, the small of the back. Perhaps you gently shift the legs to the left and to the right. Maybe not all the way to the left and to the right, just gentle movements. Bring the knees up and in towards the chest. Taking a nice deep inhale, expanding the back, the ribs, everything across the back of the mat. Good. Releasing the knees or the feet back down to the floor. Again, taking the arms out to cactus or T position, heel toe the feet out towards the edges of the mat. And then gently shift the knees over to the left. Perhaps the gaze of the head turns over to the right. Let go of any clenching within the groin or the hip flexor. Feel the body softening deeper down into the mat. stay within your experience of the body. A natural tendency is to want to escape the feelings that are happening within the body. See if you can stay present with the sensation, even if it's pain. Know that it also has something to offer, speaking to you, asking for what it needs. Allow yourself to stay attentive and focused. Without trying to escape it or bypass the sensation. Take a nice deep inhale. Slowly and gently release the exhalation through the nose. And to bring the head back to central neutral. And then begin to draw the knees back up towards the ceiling. Continue to stay within the experience of the body, feeling the energies shift and move into areas of sensation. The sensation was being held. Allow the blood to return. Let's take a moment to hug the knees into the chest. Bring both knees in nice and tight. And here I'd like to move on to Happy Baby. So this is the practice generally in our yang type classes where we shift to the left and to the right and are really playful with our experience. But I want you to stay mindful and find stillness within your practice. See if you can play around with being still rather than moving the body. So bring the knees out nice and wide. Grab a hold of the outside edges of the feet or the ankles, whatever feels good for you. And gently begin to draw the knees down towards the mat, out to the sides. Breathe into the inner groin. Perhaps breathing into the low back, the sacrum area. This one you might find is a little more difficult to remain still as we get into those deep connective tissues. There tends to be a lot of holding sensation, a lot of trauma stored in these areas. So don't be surprised if some emotion comes up. The mind wants to flee. And just give it your absolute awareness, attention. Give it presence. And attention with the breath. Be courageous enough to feel into those spaces. Instead of trying to run away from them. Lean into it. Perhaps with each inhalation and exhalation, you start to feel twitching within the muscles. Maybe you feel release is happening. Know that that's all part of the experience. It's your body's way of releasing trauma, trapped energy, and tension. Perhaps it's removing blockages energetically, physically. Perhaps even emotionally. Continue to breathe with it. You might start to notice the mind wants to react, move out of the pose. If you can stay with it as long as it's not causing you any pain and sharp shooting pain. That's the body's indication that you've gone a little further past your edge. And slowly and gently begin to draw the feet together. Coming into like a supine butterfly position here. Draw the knees out to the side. Perhaps you allow the elbows to gently guide the knees away. Try not to pull the toes into you, but rather just hold on to the feet. Continue to spray the knees to the left and to the right. Breathe into the glutes, the area just above the glutes, inner groin. Good, and slowly releasing the knees and the ankles. Let's take a moment to release the legs nice and long out on the mat. Just going to allow the sensations to move steadily through the body. Have the hands come out alongside the body. We're going to move into starfish. Star pose. So the hands and arms are above the head at an angle, pointing out to the left and the right corner of the room. Feet and the toes are out at an angle, perhaps wider than the mat. Also relaxed and at an angle. Sink and soften deep into the floor, but don't allow the mind to escape the body. It might be difficult. Try to stay within the experience of the body. Feel the energy and the blood flowing like rivers. For each area and sensation of the body. Stay here, stay present. Notice how the mind quickly wants to escape the body. Stay connected. Stay here and stay present. Continue to notice the natural rhythm of the breathing, rising and falling with the out. Soften the space between the brows, relax the jaw. Stay here. Stay present. Stay conscious and aware of what's happening within the physical body. Good, and as much as it feels good, and we may want to stay here in this position, let's start to reawaken the body and the senses. Perhaps squeezing the palms together into fists, pointing the toes, and then opening the fingers nice and wide. And let's make our way over onto the right side. So coming up onto the right side of the body, if you have a blanket, you may want to place it kind of alongside the opposite side of your mat behind you, maybe even up a little further. So you can rest your head gently on your forearm. You can even have the head resting in the hand if you wish. And you can begin to bend into the right knee. Allow the heel to come towards the glute and reach for the foot, the right foot. So your top leg can either be resting out alongside the body here. You can also draw it out nice and long. See what feels good for your body here. Now, if you have your head placed in your hand and this feels good, you can just be here. This is cat pulling its tail. You can also release the head down and then even open up the chest, so that blanket that you have, allow the head to rest back gently onto that blanket if you have one. And staying with the sensations of the body. Again, if you would like to intensify the stretch, you could draw that left leg out nice and long. I prefer to allow gravity to do the work for me and kind of just relax and rest into the posture and allow the body to move as it needs, to settle in, to settle down. But you do what feels right for you. Every body is different. Well, I just had a fly into my nose. Talk about awareness. Keep breathing into the spaces of the body. Breathing into the front of that right quadricep. Breathing into the shoulder and the chest. A few more breaths here. Good. Softly releasing the foot from the hand. Gently straightening into that right leg. Begin to draw the arm over across the body. And let's make our way onto our tummies. And we'll gently switch sides. So if you have a blanket available, bring that onto the opposite side of the mat. I feel like I haven't taught a yin practice in a while. It's so good. Okay, so coming up onto your left side. Again, your head can be propped within your hand. Your top knee can be bent, shifting down behind or in front of you, or even resting on the top of the left leg. Again, to take a bend into the left knee. See if you can grab a hold of that left foot. This fly wants to really bug me today. And if you wish to come a little deeper, you can relax the head, open the chest out onto the blanket. Feel free to adjust the leg, and then once you find your most perfect, comfortable edge, find some stillness. Again, try not to allow the mind to escape the body. Stay present within the physical experience. Noticing the sensations moving all around and throughout the body. Remember using the pose to get into the body. Find stillness there. Notice how you can give yourself unconditional presence and awareness. Releasing any judgments that you might have, any expectations of yourself. And just allow yourself to be. Stay connected to the body, connected to the breath. Good, releasing that left foot away from the hands, slowly begin to straighten into the left leg. Let's take this time to roll over onto our abdomen, and just to a few, well, really one more posture, but on each side. So come all the way down onto your abdomen. Allow the hands to come out towards the side, elbows are bent like cactus arms. And feel free to adjust the body so your forehead could meet the mat, or even a blanket if you wish. Allow the right cheek to come over to the mat, maybe shift the hips to the left and to the right a little bit. Allow the front body to rest gently into the floor. Begin to take a bend into the left knee, drawing it out to the side, drawing the knee up towards the elbow. So your gaze can be facing the same way as the bent knee. Or if you feel like just trying to change something a little differently, you can always move the head in the opposite direction if it feels comfortable for the neck. See what feels good for your body. Stay in touch with the sensations of your body on the floor. Stay in touch with the energy and the feelings within the body. Continue to notice the breathing. Noticing the sensations of the rising and the falling of the breath. The abdomen rests on the surface. Being present to stillness and sensation. Good. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale into the inner and outer left thigh. Begin to draw the left leg back down, alongside the body and behind you, back towards the back of the mat. Now feel free to turn over to the left cheek if you made an adjustment with the last one, just move in the opposite direction. So bringing the left cheek to the mat, and then begin to take a bend into that right knee. Draw the knee up towards the right elbow, allowing the knee to come out to the side. So again, the gaze can be facing the same direction as the bent knee over to the right. Perhaps if you decided to take a little variation of a twist and you draw the right cheek to the mat facing the opposite direction, so just see what feels good for you. Take a nice deep inhale and begin to rest and relax into the posture. Soften any holding with the thighs or the glutes. Perhaps here, as you stay in tune with the body, you can also notice the sensations of the heart beating, circulating blood throughout the body. It moves at its own pace, its own time, without any direction from you. And nothing that you need to do in order for the heart to beat or pump. Just does. Of course, with physical activity or stress, the heart rate can increase. See if you can tune into that beat of the heart. And still staying present with the sensations within the body. Good. Take a nice deep inhale. Slowly exhaling through the nose, begin to straighten into that right knee, drawing the right leg back behind you. Perhaps shimmying the hips to the left and to the right, the forehead to meet the mat. Perhaps drawing the feet up towards the ceiling and just gently swaying the legs to the left and to the right. Releasing the low back. And we'll make our way over onto our back bodies. Coming into your final pose of the day. Finding your Shavasana, your variation of Shavasana, so whatever feels good for you. Perhaps you take legs up the wall, allowing the glutes to meet the wall or as close as you can get, allowing the legs to extend long up the wall. Perhaps you come into supine butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined round angle, where you support the knees. Or perhaps you take a more traditional type Shavasana. Legs and feet come out towards the outer edges of the mat. Shoulder blades gently tucked under. Chin is slightly tucked, lengthening the back of the neck. And fingertips gently curling in. Coming into your final resting pose, allowing the back body to sink deeper down into the support beneath you. Feeling lighter in the front body, softening the eye, the tiny muscles around the face, allowing the scalp to rest on the skull, eyes sinking back into their socket, softening the jaw, unclenching the teeth, releasing the tongue from the roof. Staying open and receptive. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me in your practice today and allowing me to be your guide. We hope to see you in your next practice. And may any peace, stillness, or intentions you found on your mat today carry with you each day therefore. Namaste.